Hey everybody, hey everybody, hey. All right. Okay. Let me make sure my audio is still coming through. Okay. Actually, no, I didn't accomplish my goal. Am I being heard? Is this all right? Yeah, I am. That sounds good. Now we switch over to me. Now we switch over to the screen. And now we're ready to go. I imagine. I'm going to wait till the stream catches up to me. Yeah, that looks fine. Yeah, that looks fine. Welcome. Happy to have you. It is 2 days and a bunch of hours before the Game Awards. So last year I streamed myself voting. Figured I'd do it again. It's not that big of a deal, but I like doing it because it makes me think about the rest of the year as far as like the mainstream stuff, and then I come back around for like the actual good games at the end of the month, at the end of December for my own top 10 list. Um, there's a lot of categories. We got like 33 of them to get through. Uh, Other like 10 of them are going to be like nothing. But annoyingly, they listed, if you go in order, they make you pick like all the good shit up front, and then you're just left with all the shit that nobody cares about. So we're going to go behind. We're going to go backwards. So we're going to start at the end and then go backwards so we can work our way up to Game of the Year. This is a dumb way for them to do this, but I get it. Starting with like all the esports stuff. We'll get that stuff out of the way. I'm going to vote for everything, even if I don't give a fuck. That's the way this works. Somebody's going to win for free off of votes people don't care about, although at the same time, whatever. Okay, still seems like everything's good. And then after the voting, I'm going to actually play some games for a little bit. We'll see how long. I'm feeling pretty good. I want to play the games I want to stream. I didn't play them since last stream, so I'm gonna be playing Card Shark and Teardown, and those are obscure enough for What Games Week, but I'll be getting into some real obscure shit probably on Wednesday. I'm probably gonna be busy tomorrow, but we'll see. Anyway, let's get the voting started. I talk too much sometimes instead of just doing things. So hit me up in the chat. I'll be watching for any messages if there's any questions. Uh, but some of this is going to be pretty self-explanatory. So let's get started. Best esports event, recognizing an event that delivered a best-of-class experience for participants and the broadcast audience. By default, I'm going to vote for Evo because I don't watch any of the rest of this bullshit, which is not fair to the rest of the bullshit. I always hear really great, impressive stuff about the Invitational, which is the Dota World Championship. They do a lot of good interactive stuff with their players, and that's always been the most impressive I've heard. But I haven't heard about anything about it in a long time because I don't have like those sources anymore. I don't know what the PGL major is. That sounds like a shooting tournament to me, and I'm not going to look it up. We're going to vote for Evo. First vote placed. Best esports coach. No, this we don't care about unless I see a name that I recognize, which I don't. I'm going to give it to the Asian guy who doesn't look esporty. I mean, this guy doesn't look esporty. I'm gonna guess. I'm gonna make my guesses about what they each coach, and then I'm gonna make my they say what they coach down here. CS:GO, Valorant, CS:GO, LOL. Um, yeah, I'm gonna vote for the LOL coach because that's the most interesting coach to me. There's actual I don't know. I don't think there's anything wrong with shooter coaches, but I just feel like he's the numbers are against him, so I'm gonna help him out. Moving on. Best esports team, same thing. Apex Legends. I'm not even looking at the names of the teams. Are you playing music? No. Do you hear music? Oh, I forgot to turn off my music. No, I turned it off, right? Let's check. Yeah, I turned off my music. I guess I could play some music quietly in the background. That's a good idea. Let me do that. Sounds pretty dead right now. Go back here. I don't care if you guys see this. But I'll have it just kind of quiet. And I'll have some lo-fi in the background. How about that? Oh, lo-fi in the background. How about that? Or should I just keep going? Yeah, I don't want anything too loud. I just don't want to have to think about it that much. Show hop. Sure. Oh yeah, so that's that offline screen you see. I use that as my prep screen too. So at the prep screen, I play music, and that's why it pops up in the chat. And then I always turn it off when I actually start talking, because generally you want to hear the game or whatever at that point. But this is an unusual one, so I'll have a little background shit going on. I don't think there's nothing wrong with that. All right. Uh-oh. That was almost bad. We're back. Let me know if that's too loud. Or not loud enough. I'm hearing it through my headphones, but I also am fine with that. Esports team. Recognizing a specific esports team judged the most outstanding for performance and conduct in 2022. I don't know any of these. I should peek in on Valorant a little bit more than I have for as big as it is, but I don't know anything about Valorant. It's one of the few games I could legitimately see like a bunch of screenshots of and probably not know that it's Valorant. I'm going to vote for Apex Legends because this will be Matt's vote. Matt gets a vote. Congrats, Matt. Best esports athlete. The esports athlete judged to be the most outstanding for performance and conduct in 2022, irrespective of the game. Best esports MVP. We have... I'm only looking at the games. I never look at the names, because that's unfair. Some people are going to have like cooler, funnier names, and you can't be judged off of that. And you can't be judged off the looks, because we're all gamers. And that's rude. But I don't care about any of these games that hard. I wish we had a fighting game rep this year. I guess it was hard because Evo wasn't that big of a deal this year. It didn't feel like. So we didn't have that one black guy who plays King in Tekken. I feel like he was nominated that year for best esports athlete. Oh, you know what? Where the fuck is not Shadow Fox, but Fox? Yeah, Little Majin is who I was talking about then. Did Fox do nothing this year in general? Is he still not the best fucking video gamer known to man? Are they tired of giving him fucking awards? Can you only win it like once? It's not Shadow Fox. It's something else. Anyway. He stopped seriously competing. Shadow Fox stopped seriously competing? Or Little Majin? Yeah, I knew Little Majin pretty much retired. Essentially. That's why I was like, what's the name of the blue fox furry guy? I know Fox is in his name, but I can't remember if his name is it's not Shadow Fox. I know it's not. So I'm trying to be like, what's the name of Sonic Fox? There you go, thank you. It's been I haven't heard about him in a long time. He hasn't done shit. I mean, he's on Twitter, but I'm not on Twitter. Anyway, yeah, Sonic's Fox is what I'm trying to do. I guess he can't be nominated again because he already won. And he probably didn't. I don't know how much he did this year as far as fighting games, but he probably still won a bunch of stuff and then moved on. Yeah. Anyway, let's move on past this category. I'm gonna give it to the Valorant guy because I gave stuff to a League of Legends guy already. Best esports game. For the game that has delivered the best overall esports experience to players, irrespective of genre or platform. I haven't heard a lot this year on any of these games. I mean, they're all just still trucking. If there was a new one on the list, I would just pick the new one. Valorant is kind of the newest one. Yeah, let's give it Valorant. I don't give a fuck. I should have gave it to the League of Legends because of Arcane. That has nothing to do with the actual game. I just feel like that would be funny. All right, let's get into the actual categories now. Most anticipated game. Recognizing an announced game that has demonstrably illustrated potential to push the gaming medium forward. This is a horrible category. Or this is a very dumb category, but this is mostly for marketing purposes. You gotta please the sponsors. Also, Hogwarts Legacy is fucking here. Like, really. This is but at the same time, not a slam dunk pick for me. Most anticipated. I don't feel like we've seen enough of Legend of Zelda to vote for it. Everybody knows Breath of the Wild was a big deal, but man, the stuff that like we've seen of it just seems like they added like an upper area in the clouds, like a whole another level up top, and you'll still be doing stuff on the ground too, and that's great. So they're kind of against that, but I haven't seen enough of that to make it feel like it's going to be like rewriting the formula or anything. It's just going to be more good Zelda, which is fine, but it's not as big of a deal as the last one, so that makes it less anticipated for me. Resident Evil 4 I love, and it's like the game I'm looking most forward to out of this list, but it's also a remake. And Final Fantasy, I don't know anything about. It looks very interesting. It looks very good, but I don't know anything about it. Other than those things. And I don't know how much... I don't hear anybody else talking about Final Fantasy that much. I feel like by default it's going to be Starfield, because this is the first Bethesda game we've gotten since... Fallout, as far as like a new IP. And even Fallout wasn't a new IP, but you know, in modern times, it was you know, the Elder Scrolls and Fallout back and forth for like a decade, and this is the first new thing they've made in a while. So I'm gonna give it to Starfield. I feel like on the whole, it fills all the blanks. It's a brand new IP made by a big studio that people respect. So it's probably going to be good. Done. Best adaptation. Recognizing outstanding creative work that faithfully and authentically adapts a video game to another entertainment medium. I like this category mostly because it has actual contenders in it, except for Uncharted. Uncharted is not on the list. We're going to move on. These are our 4 nominations. Sonic the Hedgehog 2. I haven't seen any Sonic movies, but that's not going to change probably anytime soon. I just have an excuse. The Cuphead show I watched the first season of ish, and I will kind of halfway watch some of the second season. I like it. I'm happy it exists. I don't love it. These 2 I love. These 2 I wish weren't on the same year because it's a little bit unfair to Arcane. Arcane came out last November, but it missed the cutoff for nominations, so it had to be pushed to this year. And now it's got to run up against Cyberpunk, which is probably going to be my anime of the year. Probably. I'm not thinking too deeply on that yet, but it's definitely in the top 3. And they're both, like, reinvigorated everybody's interest in both of their respective series. Everybody got way into League again after fucking Arcane, and everybody actually cared about Cyberpunk again after Edge Runners. I'm going to give it to Arcane, which I hate. Or I don't hate. I just wish I could give it to, you know, both of them on separate years. Because we're not going to get something better than Cyberpunk anytime soon either. God, they were both fucking great. But this was a really good anime. This was a really great animated thing. Like, as far as just animation. I have to give it to Arcane. Best animated thing I've ever seen. Best debut indie. For the best debut game created by a new independent studio. I played all these games. I'm proud of myself. I made it through, well, yes, yeah, I touched all these games. I didn't finish Neon White. I streamed a little bit of it. I got a bunch of hours into it. I think I'm like 5 or 6 hours into Neon White. I like Neon White a lot, but I don't love it. There's nothing about Neon White that makes me love it yet. It's gonna be in my top 10 of the year, maybe. I have to finish it. We have to see, but I don't. It is a really good game, but it doesn't feel amazing like everybody's been talking about it. Or, you know, just like, I think it helps if you have friends that you're playing with and you have like the leaderboards that you can look at with friends. But if you're playing completely solo and you're not playing for speed and looking at leaderboards, then it's less. I think that's the main thrust of its interest. Norco, I played 2 or 3 hours of. It's a adventure game game set in cyberpunkish southern Louisiana. Like it's like Creole influenced, in like the oil fields and like the Louisiana swamps. It's a very specific mix, and also it's like got really intricate pixel art, and it's a very specific thing in a bunch of different ways. I think it is probably a great fan. It is probably easily the best art adventure game of the year, but it didn't hook me, not in time. I don't think there's anything wrong with it, but it's just like a genre that I'm not in love with, so you already have a high hump for me to like play you all the way through. But I saw what was special about it for like the few hours that I played it, but not enough to get my vote. Stray is fine. I was looking forward to Stray. I think Stray is a good game, but it's fine. That will come up again later. Point is, Stray is solid. As long as you know what you're getting into, you don't expect too much from it. It's pretty much like a adventure game where you happen to play as a cat instead of being a cat game. Like you could be any animal in Stray, really. You could be a rat. You could be any other four-legged thing that has decent mobility options, and that game would be the same. That's the main reason why. All the other cat stuff on top of that is just cute shit, but the actual gameplay you're doing is not all that different, which I don't hold it against Stray. It still does a really good job being cat, but point is, especially for an indie game category, it's fine. The real talk we have to have is about Tunic versus Vampire Survivors, because I don't know if I'm going to get any chance I don't know what other chances I'm getting to vote for these two games. I want to vote for both of them for something. Mostly because Vampire Survivors is a fucking $2 game that took over this entire year in the spring and created an entire genre in that 1 year. There are now 20 or 30 games in the Vampire Survivors genre for good reason. This game is amazing. For like $5, it's the best value of the year. But Tunic is probably my more traditional pick for best indie. I love Tunic. It does something new. It mixes a lot of different things together to form a new package, but it uses a bunch of existing pieces in a very interesting way, without wasting any of them. All of them are done competently and well, for the most part, but it feels like you want an indie game to feel. It does something that you won't get in a big AAA game. You have to commit to wanting to get through it, and it's still enjoyable all the way through. It's not like a Norco, which is very special, but it gives up the gameplay-ish, or you have to make some concessions about what you want out of the gameplay to enjoy what Norco does best. Tunic has everything everywhere. If we get down to brass tacks, Vampire Survivors is more than a meme. It is an actual good video game. Very simple in execution. But, being able to keep up with all the sudden popularity of like what was supposed to be a little throw-off, fun little game that you didn't expect to make any money of, and it became like a video game industry phenomenon overnight, practically, like within weeks. Maybe I think it took a couple of months. Like I think it came out technically like last year in like November, December, and then people didn't really catch on to it until like January, February, or probably like February. But either way, I really want to give it to Vampire Survivors because I really want to see such a small game win Best Indie Game of the Year or Best Debut Indie Game of the Year over all these. Let me see if there's another category besides. Okay, there's Best Indie. That makes me feel better. So what we're gonna do is we're probably gonna end up voting Vampire Survivors as Best Debut, but we'll probably end up giving Tunic Best Indie. I feel good about that. That's the way I want to make this happen. Let's see if we can pull that off. If fucking Tunic is not in the running for Best Indie, this entire show is a farce. So that's how we got through that. Content Creator of the Year. For a streamer or content creator who has made an important and positive impact on the community in 2022. The only person I've heard of on this list, maybe two. I think I've heard of Ludwig, don't know what he does. I think I at the last second heard of Rebellion. I think he is a Twitter account that gives a whole bunch of info on video game. He breaks a lot of video game stories, I believe, in leaks, maybe, possibly deals. But I think Wario64 is more of the deals guy. But I feel like this guy is like a big Twitter guy in the video game space that makes a lot of news. Is a good source of news. If I'm wrong on that, I don't care because I don't know anything about the other three, and I don't know enough about him. I'm going to vote for him. We're going to move through this category. It's not fun. Best multiplayer. For outstanding online multiplayer and gameplay and design, including co-op, massively multiplayer, irrespective of game genre or platform. Man, nobody talks about multiverses. It's nothing against it, but I think it had its moment, and I bet it's still doing numbers, but nobody talks about it anymore. It's weird. I played it for a surprisingly long amount of time. I got real committed to wanting to play enough to unlock Morty for free, and then I played as Morty, and I didn't really enjoy it all that much, and then I stopped playing multiverses. So I probably put in 6 or 7 hours of multiverses, and I had a decent time. I had more fun with it probably than I thought I would, playing with a bunch of randoms. I like the team aspect, but also it's not going to be best. Overwatch 2 has so many issues. Overwatch 2 is still a fucking really great base game, but all the shit that they fucked over Overwatch with everything on top. But I still had a lot of fun when I played it regularly every day. There's a reason that game is so fucking good. It's still just fucking addictive and feels so good, and all the characters are so good. The minute I started playing it again, I was happy again. It was just all the shit on top, and the game's not done. It shouldn't be I don't even know if it should be in the running, because it still has an entire half a game that we're supposed to be getting out of the single player PvE co-op mode or whatever. We'll see what happens with Overwatch 2. It's a mess. It's not going to get my vote. Call of Duty Modern Warfare 2 had issues this year. I thought Modern Warfare 2, as my favorite Call of Duty game before everything else, probably. Like in the original Call of Duty trilogy, Modern Warfare 2 is probably my favorite. I think I can say that. So I expected a lot more from this remake or the reboot. I haven't heard anything. I heard a lot of mixed stuff about it, and the reviews haven't been that great, so I haven't played it. I didn't pick it up. I'm eventually going to play it, probably when it's cheaper. But the fact that I didn't pick it up probably means that it doesn't get my vote, but that's hard to say because I don't know if I played any of the other games left. I didn't play TMNT. Heard this game was great, or, it's cool. It's solid, but it's also a beat 'em up. There's only so much you can do in that genre. It's a rough genre to make interesting or cool. It looks very good, but I didn't play it. No interest in playing it. Splatoon 3 is probably going to get my vote just because Splatoon needs to keep going. Splatoon needs more. I wish Nintendo would put out a system that is more powerful so we can get a proper Splatoon. Or I want to play Splatoon, but I don't want to turn on my Switch to play it. I love everything about Splatoon. So it's probably going to get my vote, just so it can continue to beat Call of Duty every year, because that makes me happy also. Splatoon gets my vote. The first time it beat Call of Duty, everybody was like, oh, a couple of years ago, or like last year, but now it's going to be like, yeah, probably. It's probably going to keep that going. Best sports racing game. For the best traditional and non-traditional sports and racing game, I got it. I didn't play any of these. If MLB was on here, I'd give it to that just out of camaraderie with the boys. But with that missing, I'm never going to vote for an F1 game, even though I respect them. I like FIFA, but there are better soccer games now because Captain Tsubasa exists. Gran Turismo 7 fucking sucks. All right, Gran Turismo 7 doesn't fucking suck. Gran Turismo 7 has issues with its monetization, and it's not. It also just wasn't. It was a solid racing game, but it wasn't anything. It was another one of those. It wasn't like a mind blow. I'm kind of. Did we not get a? No, we didn't get a Forza this year. We didn't get a. I don't think we got a Forza this year. So yeah, that won all the awards like last year or whatever. But yeah, no, fuck Gran Turismo. And NBA 2K3, whatever. I'm giving it to Ollie Ollie World. I know Ollie Ollie. I know of this game. I don't know enough to describe it on stream, but I've seen a little bit of it. And what this did for what it was a tiny indie game otherwise, this was a pretty impressive sequel. And the fact that it gets to be in this category, it's not gonna win. I'm just gonna get my vote. I'm happy it's in the conversation. All the rest of this stuff are made by huge companies that don't give a fuck about the game they're making. Really, they just want the money. That's what the sports category comes down to. Me, it's like it's not even about being like anti-sports or whatever. It's just these are all just money makers. Like I don't feel like there's any actual passion in any of the sports games because it's just really hard to get that in. So that's not to hold it against the genre, but like I'm gonna give it to the one that's made by people who care. That's just what this is gonna come down to. Even if all these games are better, because I just haven't played them enough. That's just my weakness. Best sim strategy. Best game focused on real-time or turn-based simulation or strategy gameplay, irrespective of platform. I don't even know why they keep saying irrespective of platform, because I don't even know if they have platform categories anymore. Nobody fucking does that anymore. Like, there's no best Xbox, there's no best PlayStation. If there is, that shit needs to stop, because at this point, there's nothing to vote for on some of the systems, and that's not the way this should work anymore. Everything's going to be on everything, for the most part, in the future. Anyway, best sim strategy, Dune Spice Wars I heard a decent amount about, but not enough for me to have an opinion. Mario plus Rabbids Sparks of Hope sounds like it is a solid sequel, but not mind-blowing. Everybody is very impressed by the Warhammer series, or the Total War series, Warhammer specifically included. From anybody who likes either Total War or Warhammer, this game is amazing from what I hear. But, you know, I thought about trying it, but I watched like, hey, watch this YouTube video if you're a beginner to the Total War series, and I was immediately overwhelmed. So I was like, probably not. But I have it for free, or I have the second one for free, I think. I got it from Epic Games Store, so I could pop it in. But I'm like, there's a lot of cool stuff in the fucking Warhammer series. It's a very cool IP. 2 Point Campus is it's a tycoon game. So it's like Railroad Tycoon, except for a college. I think this is like the second game, because the first one was about like a hospital. So this one you're running a college. Everybody considers them really good games. Not a whole lot of games in the genre anymore. And it's a very good one of those. Victoria 3 I don't know a whole lot about, but I know Paradox Interactive makes really good sims. It's probably like a 5X game, which is kind of like similar to like Civ 5, like the Civilization series, or Humanity or whatever. I think that's what Victoria 3 is, but I might have seen like one screenshot of Victoria 3. I don't know enough to even have an opinion. Don't correct me if I'm wrong on any of that. Get the fuck out of my chat. I'm gonna throw my vote at Total War. I don't really mind what wins. I don't have a strong opinion otherwise, and it's probably gonna win anyway. But it is the one that I have the most pull to actually try out of this entire list, which I think is in my vote. I'm not going to take the time to clear that out of my chat. I don't give a fuck. Best family game. This is the category I feel bad about. Kind of. For the best game appropriate for family play, irrespective of genre or platform, I wanted to play Kirby this year. I wanted to play Kirby and the Forgotten Land this year, but budget and time and it being a Switch game all worked against me to do that. But I wanted to play Kirby. I still want to play Kirby, but I feel like it's a game that's going to slip through the cracks. The Lego games are always really good. They've always been really good, except now the Legos talk. These games were better when they were just funny recreations of the scenes in the movies, but nobody could talk, so it made it just like a lot more expressive. Now they get like voice acting and shit, and that makes it less cool. Mario and Rabbids again. Nintendo Switch Sports was a good idea, kinda, except, man, remember how the Switch has motion controls? Kind of. Remember how the Switch has all this shit built into it that doesn't get used? Because fuck it. It's almost like the Wii U again. It's pretty much the Wii U again. Except, you know, whatever. I never played also no Mii's. How you gonna do Switch Sports, Nintendo Sports without Mii's? And then Splatoon 3 as a family game. I think I'm gonna give it to Kirby. I didn't even play Kirby, but I already voted for Splatoon 3. Nintendo Switch Sports, nothing wrong with it, but you know, this is mostly, guys, a sad reminder of where the Switch has gone wrong in the longer it's been around, in terms of like it's not that powerful. It didn't use most of its features at all, and they're kind of just grasping at straws from previous better games for it. I'm gonna vote for Kirby. I'm happy we got a new Kirby this year, a big full budget Kirby game. I'm gonna play it soon, and it's better than Sonic. Moving on, best fighting game. For the best game design, primarily around JoJo's Bizarre Adventure. Just like without hesitation, JoJo's Bizarre Adventure. No. I'm going to give it to DNF probably, without going into this for very long. This is probably the category that I should probably spend more time talking about, considering my audience. But the real talk is JoJo's is not a good fighting game. It's better than it used to be, but it's still not good. The King of Fighters is too rough. The King of Fighters is too much as far as a fighting game goes. It always has been. I knew it always would be. It's too far beyond me, and I respect it, but it's too much. Multiverses is a platform fighter. It's not a fighting game. That's semi a joke, but also it's not in the running, realistically. And then Sifu is not a fighting game. Sifu's not a fighting game. This has been discussed amongst fighting game channels. I'm not going to repeat it fucking here. I love Sifu. Sifu is not in this category, realistically. It shouldn't have been nominated for this category. It'll probably get my vote elsewhere, hopefully, down the line. DNF Duel therefore gets it by default. I only played the beta for DNF Duel. I had a good time, and then the actual game came out, and then it dropped off. Like, it seems like it's kind of getting a re-emergence of some new characters being added after kind of a break. But nobody talks about DNF Duel in the same way that they talk about Strive even. So I feel like it's the default pick, but it's not because of it's a good game. It's just for whatever reason it just hasn't appealed to people. And it may also have some like gameplay reasons for that. But it's still going to get my vote just because I have to vote for something. And I should give a pity vote to JoJo's, but it's kind of like voting for JoJo's in this category is kind of like voting independent in fucking political elections. Like, yeah, this is me, but I know it's not gonna win. I'm not gonna throw my vote away. Ish. I probably should have anyway, because I don't care if DNF wins either. But I imagine if you wanted me to guess what's gonna win, I would say King of Fighters is probably gonna win. But it's a toss-up between those two. I don't know how like the general gaming industry feels about the King of Fighters. I don't know if they even I don't think they ever played enough to even get into it and have an opinion, but they just know the name. They know it's been around kind of the same way that people know Tekken and Mortal Kombat and whatever, even if they don't play it. So I feel like it's going to get a lot of votes from the mainstream media and come out on top over DNF Duel, which is a brand new game from an IP that nobody in the West has heard of until this game came out for the most part, at least on the mainstream level. So I think the King of Fighters is going to take it. Or Multiverses for the same mainstream numbers, kind of like, oh, I don't know anything about fighting games, but I heard Multiverses has Super Saiyan Shaggy. I'm going to vote for it. Anyway, we'll see. It might come down to these two. It's really tough to say. JoJo's isn't going to win. Best role-playing. For the best game designed with rich player character customization and progression, including massive multiplayer experiences. This category gets harder and harder to, like, respect the nominations for every year. Because role-playing is increasingly just becoming every game. Every game has experience bars. Every game has level ups and stat fucking allocation. There's stuff that used to be hallmarks of the role-playing genre. Now every game just has that shit. Call of Duty has XP and leveling and shit, even if it's not applied in the same way gameplay-wise. Which is why I don't feel great about, like, yeah, fucking Elden Ring is a role-playing game technically. I mean, very, very much. It has a lot. It has a ton of the role-playing shit, but I feel weird about giving it to any Dark Souls game because that feels unfair. When, you know, Dark Souls can be in multiple genre categories. JRPGs only get role-playing. So, like, you're not going to find Xenoblade in an action game category. You're not going to find Xenoblade in a fucking sports or racing category or some shit. This is the only spot for fucking Xenoblade Chronicles because it leans so much further into RPG stuff. Let me put this a different way. If this was Monster Hunter, I feel the same way. Monster Hunter has a lot of shit in common with the Dark Souls series of games, as far as like it is a very heavy, it's a very number heavy game. It's a very stat based game. You're leveling shit up. You're getting your specs right, or your build. You're making a build. That's all stuff that's associated with a whole lot of role playing. But I don't feel great about voting for Monster Hunter if it was nominated, even though it could also be in the same conversation for the same reasons that Elden Ring is. Like, those are both action games to me, with a role-playing, a minor in role-playing. Mostly you're there for, like, the gameplay, the active gameplay, as opposed to the rest of this entire, all the rest of these are, like, proper RPGs, I feel like. Live Alive, I'm pretty sure it's Live Alive. A lot of people, I've heard a lot about it. I didn't play it myself. I didn't play any of these myself, except for Elden Ring. But I know a lot of people were this is a remake, I think, of an older game. I think that never made it to the West. But it's a traditional ass JRPG. But I don't know how exactly it plays. I just remember seeing some videos of it and hearing a lot of people talk about it that normally don't play JRPGs, so it's in the conversation. Pokemon Legends Arceus is a great departure from the normal Pokemon shit. I didn't play it, but it's the closest I've come to playing a new Pokemon game in a long time, and I still intend to eventually. I just gotta hope that. I just wish I wish Game Freak would just make better fucking games. Fucking get your shit together, Game Freak. Triangle Strategy is a sequel to. No, wait, Triangle Strategy is a brand new game, I think, by Square Enix. It had a really cool look. That's the most I can say about Triangle Strategy. But then, after it came out, I don't really feel like anybody talked about it that much, other than it looked really amazing. And then Xenoblade Chronicles 3 is good enough to be in the nominations for Best Game of the Year. So, that should probably get the vote, to be honest. If you're a role-playing game that is also nominated for Game of the Year, even if it's kind of it's not going to win, but it's the fact that it's gotten nominated for that category probably means it did some good shit for those people who love fucking Xenoblade. I just could never do it. Those games are way too long for my life now. And I don't think I don't like hardcore RPGs, like actual JRPGs. There's a limit for me. And Xenoblade has always been over that limit. So I mean, looking at all the rest of this, I think this is going to get my vote just knowing where it's at and how happy people are with it. So we're going to do that to move on to the next category. If you don't like it, vote yourself. I don't give a fuck. Best action adventure game. For the best action adventure game combining combat with traversal and puzzle solving. That's an interesting way of putting it. I kind of hoped Sifu was going to be in this category. I'm not sure where else Sifu is going to pop up now. It's probably going to pop up in the best indie category, but we'll wait. We'll worry about that when we get there. Let's. This really comes down to two games for me. Horizon Forbidden West. I really like the original Horizon, Zero Dawn, but I heard such negative shit about Forbidden West in terms of like negative relative to how big that of a sequel that game is. Not that it's actually a bad game, just that it's a whole lot of the same from the first game, without a lot of, in a way that's kind of overwhelmingly meh. Like, it hits you with so much visual splendor, but the gameplay is very fine, and it does so much visually, it ends up feeling just kind of like a mishmash of colors everywhere at all times, instead of feeling like a very impressive kind of thing. I don't know. I don't have strong feelings on it. I'm kind of like mooching off of my general osmosis of what a lot of stuff I've watched on the game, but there's a reason why there hasn't been a whole lot of love for Horizon this year. So it's not going to get my vote. Stray I've already talked about, same reason. It's not an action-adventure game. It's it's an adventure game. It is an adventure game, but it's not action-adventure. But that's not a negative thing. I'm just saying. Not Stray. A Plague Tale, I played some of the first game, didn't get all the way through it, respected it. It's fine, it's solid. Kind of similar to Stray in that it's like, it's more puzzly. I didn't see much of anything on the sequel. I think the sequel is better. I think it's visually better, and I think it keeps going well. I didn't hear anything negative about it, but I didn't hear anything about it in general, which probably means it's fine. This really comes down to me picking between Tunic and God of War. So, it almost feels unfair. It's not unfair. I don't like this particular setup, man. I don't know if you can get any more action adventure than Zelda. Like, if you needed me to pick one game that encompasses what action adventure, quote unquote, means as a genre, it's Zelda. Even if I don't necessarily love every Zelda in the world, that is what I think of. It's kind of like, it's like that or fucking Uncharted. Like, it is like the most relic hunting, puzzle solving, sword swinging, gun slinging kind of like genre. It's like the general doing shit genre. Tunic obviously is playing with that and then some. It's doing some more past that. God of War though is, has the budget and the looks and the good solid gameplay. Solid, kind of repetitive at the end of the day, but solid and good. Like good enough to get me all the way through its campaign without getting sick of it. Unlike some other people I know, like there's some in the industry that felt like, this year God of War was just fine. The industry sentiment on God of War Ragnarok I got overall from all my sources, or like a combination of all my sources, is no one was wowed by Ragnarok. Everybody likes Ragnarok, but also it feels kind of like more of whatever. Like it feels like, okay, good. Happy that these characters are so cool, but gameplay wise, it was just more of that, and that's also cool. Kind of the same way of Horizon, but not nearly as negative. So people are kind of tepid on God of War, at least in the industry. Obviously, amongst fans, that game knocked it out of the park, and they're going up against war against fucking Elden Ring people and all that shit. Okay, I'm gonna give this vote to God of War because I'm probably not voting for God of War for anything else. And I know where I'm going to slot Tunic's vote in. That's where I'm leaning in this moment. Unless there's like a best visuals, and then God of War will be back in the conversation. But for right now, without peeking at the rest of the categories too hard, I feel like this is my last chance to vote for God of War, not counting like non-gameplay stuff like performances and visuals. So I'm going to put God of War as my vote for here. As for my prediction for who is going to win it all, God of War is going to win it. It has recency bias. That's the number one reason for this category. That hasn't really applied to anything else. It's like people played this less than a month ago, and now they have to vote on if they think it's the best. Meanwhile, Horizon was like this February, March of this year, or something like that, in like the spring, I think. And that works against it. That's just, people will try not to be biased, but that just fucking happens. Same thing, less or so for Plague Tale, where I think it was only like 3 or 4 months ago, but even then, and Tunic is just a smaller game. It's too small. That just happens for this category. Moving on. Best action game. This is weird, but okay. No, okay, fine. For the best game in the action genre, focused primarily on combat. Okay. Yeah. Kinda. Cause like Bayo 3, I could see being in the action adventure genre, honestly, but it probably, I'm fine with that. But also, I didn't play Bayonetta 3 in time, both mostly for budget reasons, but also kind of for time reasons. I'm more worried about where it's going to fit on my top 10 than I am where it's going to fit in the Game Awards at the end of the day. So I didn't want to rush into it. If I get enough money, though, hopefully I get to play it in like another week or two. But also I heard some troubling things about the end of Bayonetta 3. And otherwise, it's more good Bayonetta combat, but the story was a big letdown for a lot of people for reasons I don't know of. And gameplay-wise, some felt like it kind of jumped the shark as far as the big visual or the big over-the-top stuff is a little bit of what I got. I haven't heard too much about what people think about Bayonetta, but that's also because I think a lot of people aren't as excited about it because people are kind of sick of the Switch. People are kind of sick of having, and the Switch is holding back Bayonetta as far as like performance at this point in a way that's fucking not cool. So for reasons outside of Bayonetta's control, I think Bayonetta 3 is not going to get the vote for me. At least for this category. Which is the biggest upset. If there's people like me that need to vote for Bayonetta, and I can't in good conscience do it. I'm not going to vote for a first-person shooter for best action genre. It fits the genre, but I don't ever feel good about it. Kind of. It's a weird thing to put a first-person shooter in the action game category to me, but I get it. It's not an action adventure. They probably don't have like a best FPS category this year because I can't think if they would have enough nominees. They would if they fucking looked at indie games more, but I feel like they don't do that specifically for the fighting. Specifically for the first-person shooter genre. For whatever reason, they ignore small games in these awards because usually first-person shooters are like the big budget, heavy visual games that are like mainstream, loved by the mainstream. And for whatever reason, though, there's been a whole lot of good, interesting, fun first-person shooters in the indie space that just get completely fucking ignored. As far as games and awards and recognition, they get overlooked. A lot of games in like the boomer shooter genre that are coming out, they're like, hey, we're a smaller studio, so we're doing this with like an older visual style, but also we're fun as fuck. Kind of like in the same way that Doom 2016 or whatever came out, and made it fun again instead of just like the usual Call of Duty 4 controls, aim down sight and shoot shit that we had gotten for so many years, which was fine, but it wasn't interesting. Anyway, point is I'm not voting for Call of Duty. If I need to explain that more, ask me in the chat. Neon White fits into this category. I explained why I'm not going to vote for it before. I hope Neon White gets some votes. I hope Neon White is a contender. I like it in theory. It just can't be my vote for my own reasons. And TMNT, again, beat 'em ups are rough at the end of the day. This is a good new beat 'em up, but beat 'em ups are rough. That genre is just rough to do well in a very interesting way above and beyond other games in this category. This is my time to vote for Sifu. Sifu was fantastic. I was trying to find the right word for it. I'm gonna say fantastic. I have no problems with Sifu for the most part. For a game that's made for like hard difficulty, you're dying a lot, you're making a whole lot of mistakes. I didn't ever get too frustrated playing Sifu. I don't remember. Like anything that I was losing against in Sifu, I felt like it was on me for the most part, which is rare in those kind of games. Even I get frustrated from time to time, depending on the game. But that game did a really good job of making me feel like I was getting better, and I got to get to the point where I feel like, I didn't 100% platinum the game, but I did the thing you would want it, the hardest thing to do in that game, which is play through without losing a life. I think I finished the game. I went through the game beginning to end at year 20 age. And that was like, I would have to play a lot to get to the point to do that. And I normally don't do that in games, but the game enabled me to do that and feel like I accomplished it. Not that I cheated it or that I did it, blah, blah, blah. Anyway, point is, Sifu is my action game of the year. Probably just because I'm not going to be able to vote for it for anything else also on top of that. But it deserves a vote for something. And I kind of hope it wins this category. I hope this wins or Neon White. I love Bayonetta, but everybody knows Bayonetta is super good. It's been better is being done better on other systems. Like they put out the remakes of 1 and 2 on like PlayStation and stuff, and I'm like, I'm probably gonna replay those games there. Like I never played through Bayonetta 2 on the hardest difficulty like I did before for the first one. I intend to, but it's just I don't feel like dragging my fucking Wii U out to do it. So anyway, Sifu wins this category. One of my favorite categories because these games tend to be like my favorites in general. Best VR AR game. Alright, let's make this fast. For the best game experience playable in virtual or augmented reality, irrespective of platform. I'm going off of mostly secondhand information because even though I have a VR thing, I didn't play any of these. I actually intended to play Bone Lab. It's on my wish list, but again, budget / time / whatever. I didn't get around to it, but I know people fucking love Bone Lab, and Bone Lab is really fucking impressive. Moss 1 was really impressive. I heard zero about Book 2. I didn't hear shit about it, but that's also because people are kind of done with VR, man. Nobody fucking cares. I wonder how Among Us VR is. I hope it's good. Among Us is fun, and I can imagine how that could be fun in VR-ish. But at the same time, I can imagine if you have like a first-person view when you're trying to do all like to see what happened around corners and shit, and see somebody out of the corner of your eye kill somebody versus seeing it on like the top-down view. I wonder how that works. But I wonder what the numbers are on Among Us VR. I'm sure it's a popular streaming game, but I don't know if people actually like that game. I don't fucking know. I have never heard of After the Fall before in my life. I like what I see in this screenshot. This all looks interesting. But I see a lot of guns. And I am tired of VR games that are just shooters plus something else. Same for Red Matter 2. Never heard of it. Don't know what this game's about. This screenshot tells me absolutely nothing. This might be the game I am most ignorant about in this whole awards. Possibly. Anyway, we're going to vote for Bone Lab. It's the one that I want, and I've seen videos of it. It's very impressive. And it comes from it's kind of like the spiritual successor to another impressive VR game, so it's well known. 13 more. Let's go. Innovation and accessibility. Recognizing software and or hardware that is pushing the medium forward by adding features, technology, and content to help games be played and enjoyed by an even wider audience. I don't feel super strong about any of this. I know this is part 1. I was like, is this 2? The screenshot made me think of 2. Naughty Dog in general does a lot of good, Sony Interactive Entertainment does a lot of good work in the accessibility realm as far as like their handicap or accessibility options are crazy. What you can do to those games, and at such a big mainstream level, that's really impressive. Don't know what happened as Dusk Falls. I know what this game is, but I don't know what they did as far as accessibility for it to be nominated. Same thing for Return to Monkey Island. Know what it is. Don't know what they did for accessibility. Don't know. I know what this is. Don't know what they did for accessibility. I'm not going to spend too long on this. I know The Last of Us Part 2 deserved it last year, and I imagine he just kept that going for this one, so I'll give it to this. Sorry if one of these did something really impressive in a way for like something new as far as accessibility. Innovation. It's supposed to be for innovation. It's hard to have that news because nobody talks about it, so I just can't know. Make sure I'm not fucking up my audio. If people aren't watching and it gets to the point where my audio just like at some point cut out and nobody was there to tell me, that'd be real sad. Anyway, best community support, recognizing a game for outstanding community support, transparency, and responsiveness, inclusive of social media activity and game updates patches. I think Apex Legends, according to my good friend Matt, had a lot of ups and downs this year in terms of like patches and balance, so it's out of the conversation. Although they did have some cool skins this year, so it's not all negative, but it's a balance. Destiny 2, I think it's just trucking along, doing fine. I think there was a little bit of a kerfuffle. I heard some controversy a little bit, but otherwise I didn't hear a lot great either, so holding in. I mean, I feel like they just didn't have enough games for this category this year. Final Fantasy fucking, what is this? Is Final Fantasy 15 or 14? I think this is 14. Yeah, that's 14. Yeah, everybody knows about the success story of this game should have fucking died, and they went to the trouble of rebooting it. And, you know, it's amazing. Fortnite continues to be what it is. You know what? Best community support. No, I'm going to go ahead and give it to Fortnite. This is the year that I started playing Fortnite because of their community support in terms of skins, patches, updates. I love No Man's Sky. It earned it in previous years. What they did to No Man's Sky is still amazing, but in the same way that Final Fantasy earned it in previous years, whatever. Fortnite has been doing really amazing shit for a while as far as this category, and it's in kind of the same boat. But this is the year they put in no build mode. This is the year they made Fortnite matter to the rest of us. This is the year where I could be excited to watch Fortnite announcement videos and be all like, oh, I want that skin. I want to play this game long enough to do that. I want to participate in this event. All they had to do was get rid of the fucking building, and that's all we wanted. They did it. That game's cool. That game's real great. I don't care. It's a meme to hate on Fortnite. It always has been, but too bad. That game's good now. That game is fun. I enjoy Fortnite, so it's going to get my vote for best community support, because that's what they needed to do in order to make that happen. Moving on. Best mobile game. Quick and done. For the best game playable on a mobile device. This is insulting. Diablo Immortal is ridiculous in terms of microtransactions and everything, and it should not be here, but I get it. Apex Legends Mobile. Apex Legends on your phone. No. Moving on. Genshin Impact. I think this has already been... Genshin Impact's been around for a couple years, so this is probably nominated last year as well, but it's a Breath of the Wild MMO on your phone. With a great anime style. Should probably get the vote, but I feel like if it already got the vote, then I'm going to give it to Marvel Snap. Never heard of Tower of Fantasy, but I like this booty. I like this waifu. She can get it. Not enough to get my vote for your best game, though. This feels like it's probably like it's one of those fucking anime games that have really great art on their waifu, and then you play it, and it's like, oh, this is a tower defense game, or this is like a turn-based RPG you play on your own, and nobody wants to do that on a phone. If you put a turn-based RPG on mobile and it's not PvP, what are we doing with our lives? Or at least if it's only against computer and you don't interact with other players at all to even show them like the outfit that you got or whatever. Anyway, I'm gonna vote for Marvel Snap. I haven't played Marvel Snap in like a month. I really enjoyed it for like 2 weeks and was playing it like daily, like a lot. I was playing a whole lot of Marvel Snap, and then they reset progress as far as rank, knocked me down from plat down to bronze, and the grind to get back up was so much I kind of just lost interest. But not because I think that game's bad all of a sudden, but I kind of just fell off. That was too big of a hit for me to feel like I felt like getting back up again, and that kind of made me fall off, and now I'm kind of like playing other things. But it's the only new thing on here that I feel like this is going to be around for a while. It is legitimately a really good card game that I think a lot of people who don't normally play card games can get into, and it has a lot of potential. Hopefully they support it well down the line. This is the year to vote for it, though, I feel like, so I'm going to go ahead and do that. 10 more. We're getting there. Best indie game. For outstanding creative and technical achievement in a game made outside the traditional publisher system, I've talked about almost all these games except for Cult of the Lamb. Cult of the Lamb I played all the way through. Cult of the Lamb I had a really great time. Cult of the Lamb is not the best indie game of the year. It's a really fantastic game. Has a lot of issues, or not a lot of issues, but it has issues. But I like the aesthetic. I like the concept. I liked the gameplay enough. But that is one of the things where like the combat in Cult of the Lamb is fine, wasn't great, and it did frustrate me at times. It was for reasons, but the camp management and the cult management was fun enough. But it also got to it was a game that was long enough. If it was any longer. And it was already probably a little too long. But if it was any longer, it would be too long. It was almost perfect in length. By the time I was done with the main story, I didn't want to play anymore. And I kind of didn't want to play anymore. I didn't want to do any more of the camp management stuff before I had like a whole nother level of like combat stuff to do. Anyway, it's not going to get my vote. Neon White's not going to get my vote. I've explained all these. I gave Sifu best action. So now I can finally give Tunic best indie game of the year. And I feel strong about that. This, yeah. Like this and Sifu are going to be pretty close on my top 10 list, but Tunic is going to be on top of it. Tunic's going to be really, really high on my list. So, Tunic gets the vote for best indie game, just like I said I was going to do. Speed this up. This is taking a lot longer than I thought it was going to do, but I'm having a good time. Best ongoing game. Award to a game for outstanding development of outgoing content that evolves the player experience over time. This is weird. I don't like this. This just feels like the community. This feels like the community category a second time. To the point where these are all the exact same games that were in that category. The only reason the other category feels like it exists now is because it was sponsored by Discord. If I had known this was going to be a thing, I wouldn't. This feels weird. Here's what we're going to do. We're going to go back. We're going to vote best community support. We're going to give it to... Can I unvote? Can I... Oh, wait, no. Okay, no. You know what? I still feel about this. I'm happy they lock in my vote. Oh, no, you can unvote. But, okay, the one game that was different is No Man's Sky is here instead of Genshin Impact. I would rather give community support to Genshin Impact because I heard a lot of good things about their new characters and how they were added in Genshin Impact based on community and fan feedback. But it's not even in this category. Like, what are we doing? Like, No Man's Sky should be in the ongoing, and Genshin Impact should be in the community. But with that, now I just really don't. I'm not gonna get hung up on it. Best ongoing is also gonna go to Fortnite for no build mode. Moving on. Games for impact for a thought-provoking game with a pro-social meaning or message. Always a weird genre, or always a weird category. I've heard a lot of think pieces. I remember hearing or reading a think piece or watching a think piece on, hey, moving these pro-social games that are obviously trying to say some shit into this category almost means that they can never be in the running for the actual categories that people are concerned about. Like by putting them, it's like you're putting them on the kids' table by making a category for them. Like, yes, it's great that they are here, but that means almost inherently they can't be in the discussion for best game of the year. They can't be in the discussion for best adventure game of the year or whatever, kind of. Because they have a game for impacts category. It's weird. Like, if you didn't have this category, where would the rest of these games fit? Like, they are still really great games in their own right, but it feels like inherently, because they have a lot of shit to say, they're on a different... It's like they're getting knocked down a level because, like, well, ultimately, that must mean they're not as good at games, and that's not true. Citizen Sleeper, I would almost say, should be in the best RPG category. I played all the way through Citizen Sleeper. I had a really great time with it. It's almost exclusively an RPG game, but not in the classic RPG. It's more in the tabletop RPG kind of way, but it's still role-playing. It's still way more role-playing than most of the other games in the best role-playing list, including the JRPGs. Citizen Sleeper should have been in that category now that I think about it. It's going to get my vote because it's the only one that I played. And I don't know anything about the rest of these for the most part. Like, I've heard the name of this. I don't think I've heard of this one. No, I never heard of this. Never heard of this. And I've heard of this, but I don't know much about it. I know Annapurna, but anyway, Citizen Sleeper is also just like a legitimately good game, not just the one that I played. Like, I have a really great Citizen Sleeper. Don't sleep on Citizen Sleeper. Need to get some drinks. Best performance awarded to an individual for voice over acting, motion, and/or performance capture. I feel like Ashley Birch won for the first Horizon, but I could be wrong. Anyway, I was kind of glancing at the rest of these. Here's what's about to happen, ladies and gentlemen. Here's what about to happen. A Plague Tale, I'm sure she did a great job, didn't play it, but, anybody in this category did a great job at motion capture and performance. That's the reason why they're in here. The little bit I've seen off the edges, obviously. Kratos, Christopher Judge is Kratos, or Kratos. Yeah, no shit. But not. But same thing. I mean, Atreus this year was also really good. But I didn't even know this is the guy who did. I can already tell that this is the guy who did Atreus, just because it's in the same conversation. But otherwise, also did a good job. Also did a good job. But these two did a good job in the biggest game of the year, one of the biggest games of the year, alongside these other two games that were the biggest game of the year. This person's won it before, I'm sure. I'm pretty sure Ashley Birch has won some awards here. I'm pretty sure Christopher Judge has won some awards here. This was probably the year for Sonny to win it. I don't know if he's done anything else worth winning it in, so hopefully he gets it. I don't know if Plague Tale got like snubbed for it. Probably. I think last year they gave it to Dami Mommy. They gave it to the lady who was Lady Dimitrescu. There you go. And Resident Evil last year, which haha, funny meme. And she also did a good job, legitimately kinda. But also, she was in that game for like fucking 3 hours. Like fuck, that's the only reason why she shouldn't have won it. It's not because it was a bad performance, but because she was barely in that game for like compared to all the rest of these where Kratos is on screen for 90% of fucking God of War. Ashley Birch or Aloy is on screen for 90% of Horizon. Like they had great performances for like fucking 60 hours of content versus Dami Mommy, who was on screen for like 4 hours, kind of, or less. Not to take away from her win, but you'll notice I didn't mention one person in this list, and that's the man engaged from Immortality, because I'm voting for Immortality. I'm the only one who fucking even paid attention to Immortality. That's the way it happens. But she did a really good job. And I'm giving her the vote because she may win it. I think the person who played Her Story, which was like the spiritual predecessor to Immortality, I think the Her Story lady won it her year, which would have been like 4 years ago, something like that. So there's a chance that she wins it for this too. It's kind of not fair because she's playing in a game that's all live action, so she's not having to do like performance stuff. She's not having to put on the gear and do that extra layer of abstraction. Like she's just doing it as an actual person on camera. So that's kind of something that she has easier over the rest of us, or over the rest of the nominees. But at the same time, that also helps some of these guys who don't have to be on screen somehow. My vote's going to Immortality. There's going to be no other chance for me to give Immortality a vote. I hope people pay more attention to it. She's fucking hot and she gets naked in that game too. Best audio design. Recognizing the best in-game audio and sound design. This category is already really weird. I don't have a lot to say about this category. I'm just thinking about which one I'm going to give the vote to. I bet those cars sound real good. God of War all these games sound good, but I'm just not an audio person, so I don't. If your audio didn't stand out to me, then that probably means it was just real good. And none of these games stood out to me. I didn't play Modern Warfare, I didn't play Horizon, didn't play Gran Turismo. God of War didn't stand out. It did fine. Like I'm trying to think back to like the sound effects and stuff. Same thing for Elden Ring. It's on par with other From Software games. Nothing above and beyond for me. Also, I think this is separate from music specifically, which might be the only thing that Matthew would get on me on. Is like, yeah, but the music, and I'm like, okay, well, listen, I'm pretty sure that's a separate category. I think this is just for sound effects and ambiance shit. I could be wrong on that, and if I am, I don't care. Elden Ring is a bunch of fantasy clinks and clangs of swords and shields and weird creature noises, but nothing that stood out to me more than usual. Same thing for God of War. I bet those cars sound real good. Gran Turismo it is. Yeah, best score in music. I'm not big on orchestral songs. I have respect for them, but I'm not big on that myself. Wars music, same thing. Didn't stand out to me. It was good. Didn't stand out. This is gonna be a pity vote because I don't care about the rest of these. Metal Hellslinger is the only game on this list that is primarily about its music. If you don't remember, it's a first-person shooter where you have to shoot. You have to do your actions on beat. I watched like an hour of gameplay of it, just to get an idea of why it's any different from beats per minute (BPM), which is pretty much the game with the exact same idea. But Metal Hellslinger does that, but with a bigger budget, better looks, better graphics, and a more metal leading soundtrack than the other game, which was kind of like more of a rock metal kind of thing. Anyway, the point is, this is the game that's about music, so I'm going to give it to the game about music. You want to fight about it? Best art direction for outstanding creative and or technical achievement in artistic design and animation. Ooh. I wish I could peek a hit. I mean, I could peek a hit on the categories because I wonder if they're separating art direction and best technical visuals. As in, this game looks most impressive for how far you pushed the hardware, which I think would be the next category. But this game is smaller, or it's doing a whole lot more art-wise, not just like pure graphics, is what I feel like. Or this could just be both of those put all together, and I'm not entirely sure. But anyway, not giving it to Stray. Stray is a very good-looking game. I'm not coming down on Stray. Stray is a very good-looking game, but not in the same category as the rest of these. Horizon, same thing. Kind of overly busy visual look. Like they went too deep in their super thick jungle look for me. God of War looks very good. Elden Ring looks very good, as usual. These we're gonna keep coming back to these, but I think I'm gonna give it a Scorn. If you look up anything visual related to Scorn, that game is nothing but its art. From what I hear, it's like a puzzle game. It's not even like really a combat game that much. It's pretty much an adventure game that is just like a bunch of sloppy, phallic alien dicks slathered all over the walls. This game is the inside of a fucking what's the name of the alien from Alien? Xenomorph. This entire game takes place inside of a xenomorph's butthole. That's what the Scorn is. You get that impression the minute you see any of Scorn, and it does that for the entire game through. That's the only appeal. If you're not into the way that looks, there's probably not much else for you to enjoy in Scorn. So I'm going to give it to Scorn because it does that very well, and it's a different look than we have ever gotten in video games for the most part, or at least to this degree. So I'm going to give it to Scorn. It's probably not going to win, but I'm going to give it to it. I'm going to vote for it. Hope it does well. Best narrative. I forgot about this. Best outstanding storytelling and narrative development in a game. Not giving it to A Plague Tale. Didn't play it. I'm sure it's good. Not giving it to Elden Ring. Lore is not narrative at the end of the day. For me. People go back and forth on Elden Ring in this regard. The lore of Elden Ring, fantastic, interesting. I watch videos on it for hours. It is not what gets me through those games. It is not what is. Elden Ring is all lore and no plot. And I feel like you need both of those. You need good world building and you need a plot in order to have a narrative. That is how I feel about it. That may not be the dictionary definition of those words. That may not mean anything. But that's how I feel about it. Elden Ring is all lore, no plot, so it's weak on narrative. It doesn't have a thing to push me forward other than I know this is where I need to go next to see more cool shit in this amazing world with a lot of intricate lore and shit. But my role in it and the reason why I'm doing it. Never understand that until I watch a bunch of lore videos afterwards, and even then, I still don't really get it entirely. Just enough to make me feel like it was a good time. But anyway, that's the reason why I'm not voting for it. So it really comes down to the last three. I'm not gonna give it to Horizon. I'm sure it's good or fine. God of War I liked a lot. So this really comes down to, for me, between God of War and Immortality again. Without getting into spoilers about Immortality, it's doing a lot. This game is also another game that's pretty much all narrative. Like that's the only reason. That's the only thing you're doing is watching a story in Immortality. I mean, the way you're interacting with it is very innovative, or I like it a whole lot. But that said, I kind of gave it its pity vote already. Like I kind of can't, in good faith, because for some of the same reasons why I couldn't give it to Elden Ring. I knew what was happening in Immortality. There is kind of a plot, quote unquote, in Immortality. There's more of a plot in Immortality than Elden Ring, but not by much. It is also another game that's kind of like, here, take all these bits and pieces, figure out these abstract shits, and put together the overall what's going on here on your own. And that's not what I need in this category. I need what God of War did for me, I think, is what I'm coming down on. God of War had characters I cared about. I wanted to see what happened to them. The world is very interesting because it takes from Norse mythology and twists those characters in interesting ways. So for me, God of War takes this category, without staying on it. The reasons why I eliminated the rest is more of why God of War gets it more so than God of War doing it above and beyond. Otherwise, it's a big, pretty Sony exclusive game. That's what they do. So it gets my vote. We're almost done here, folks. I may not play games after this. This was a lot of talking. I gotta see how interested people would be. Best game direction. See, I would have preferred a more technical visual. So there's not going to be a technical, just like best looking game, or technical mastery category. I kind of would have preferred that over best game direction because this is such a hard. This feels so. Like, yes, game directors. Here's the thing: awarded for outstanding creative vision and innovation in game direction and design. It's almost practically also like a best design category in that way, but it's so nebulous. Game direction can mean so many fucking things, and I don't feel good about voting for any of it. I would have much rather voted as like, hey, I think God of War probably looks overall the best this year in terms of best graphics as far as power. Not art design, but as far as power. I would have rather voted for that. Now, best game direction. Okay, I'm going to give it to Elden Ring. I haven't voted for Elden Ring for like anything yet, I think. I think actually them finding a way to make an open world Dark Souls game that doesn't make that sound redundant, because I always thought that the hubs in the Dark Soul games or the spokes, it was like a hub and spoke system where there was like a main kind of openish area that was kind of like like the Nexus in Demon Souls, or you could kind of already go wherever you wanted, and then once you were in actual levels, especially in Demon Souls, that was kind of open world-ish. But Elden Ring showed me what it really means to be open world entirely. Elden Ring, so I think Elden Ring did the rest of these are all sequels for the most part. God of War is just a sequel to the original game. It's well directed, but so was the first one. Didn't really reinvent the wheel. This one's also a lot more open world, but this is kind of like more Nexuses. It's not open world. They found a way to make a whole lot more of the Nexus system similar to Demon Souls, but do it in God of War instead. And they expanded on that, but otherwise, not new, not innovative, just well done. Horizon's a lot of the same. Went over this. Immortality would probably be my second vote in this category. Ish. I don't like to harp on it like it's the second coming of video game Christ, just because I'm like the only one who played it. But it did something really cool with the main mechanic of how you play that game. and it did a thing that I didn't think that they could do. As somebody who really liked her story, I didn't think they could make a sequel to her story that has similar hook that could get me as interested in the same concept again, even if I really wanted it to. But they found a way to kind of like do the next. They leveled up a thing that I didn't think you could level up in terms of gameplay. I'll give them that. But and Stray is fine. Stray is good. Stray is fine. Elden Ring gets my vote. It has all of those qualities. It is doing something new while also being a big game that's a lot of fun gameplay wise. It has it all. Best overall game direction. So Elden Ring's getting the vote for that. We come to the final category that everybody's wondering about ish, but you already know where I'm going with this probably. Game of the year. Recognizing a game that delivers the absolute best experience across all creative and technical fields. Let's knock things off first. A Plague Tale didn't play. I'm sure it's very good. Not in the running. Horizon, more of the same. Not in the running for me. Although I thought it was going to be. To be clear, I thought Horizon Forbidden West was a day one buy for me until I saw reviews and heard feedback. And then I kind of chilled on it, and then it got to the point where I was just like, actually, yeah, I don't really need to do this again. Especially from what I see, they didn't change enough for me to be interested in it again. And it doesn't sound like the story goes where I want it to for me to care, so. Not in the running. Stray should not be on this list. This is kind of the thing I was going to talk about when I mentioned it earlier on in the process. That sounds mean at the end of the day. I don't mean it to be mean, but it's not even the best indie game this year. It's not the best in any category this year. Not visually, not gameplay, not indie, not any of those. So why it's in the same breath of Game of the Year, it's just the meme pick. It's just like the, hey, we don't have to have nothing but big, huge blockbuster games in our Game of the Year list. But if you're gonna throw that bone to indies, Stray isn't even an indie at that. It's like a double A game. It's like a single A, double A game. And if these are triple A games with the hugest budgets, Hollywood budgets, Stray is still a fucking pretty big budgeted game. It's not huge, but it's big. It's like a double A game. So you didn't even give like the bone to indies like you probably thought you did by putting Stray in this category. Stray doesn't belong in this category. This game is fine. Solid 7 out of 10. Good 7 out of 10. If you really like cats, 8 out of 10. Fine. The rest of the games in this category are like 8s and 9s easy, regardless of how you feel about anything else. Like, as much as I talk shit about Horizon, I still know that, like, if you had never played a Horizon game, if Horizon Forbidden West is your first Horizon game, then this game probably jumps back up to a 9, just because this isn't like an old concept to you. Like, this is your first time in this world, seeing all this shit, and it looks better than ever. That game probably jumps up to like a 9 for you. But if you've already played the first Horizon, then it's more of the same. Same thing for God of War. Same thing for A Plague Tale. Elden Ring is doing something new. We'll get to that. Xenoblade Chronicles, too hardcore of a JRPG for me. I'm happy it's in the category. On the other hand, as opposed to something like Stray, I feel like them throwing a bone to the JRPG category, this is the way to do it. I don't think it's taking a spot from another game. I think it's the best what it's doing in its genre, probably from the fact that the people that really love Xenoblade really love this one. So I think it gets to be in the conversation. I don't know enough about it enough to feel strongly about that. Maybe that's bullshit and it's not actually even that fun or great or whatever. But happy to see it here. Happy to see a game like that gets here more than like a Final Fantasy that kind of just gets it by default every time a Final Fantasy comes out, just because it's a big name. Xenoblade is not a big name. Not a lot of people outside of the game industry knows what the fuck Xenoblade is. So the fact that it gets on the list, cool. Anyway, I'm not getting my vote. This comes down to Elden Ring versus God of War. I'm voting for Elden Ring at the end of the day. I really like God of War. I wouldn't say I love God of War. Getting down to brass tacks, God of War has some downtime to it. I'm very patient with downtime in games like this, but really, probably had too much of it. And what I mean by downtime, I'm not going to get into because of spoilers, but overall, I enjoyed it a whole lot. I enjoyed the ride. The ending let me down. It was a good ending. It wasn't like it just felt kind of rushed. And for a game like this, that's sad. Um, as it's, at the end of the day, I'm going to probably end up liking the first God of War more for story than this one. Even though this one had characters that I liked more, I liked all of the Norse side of the story way more than anything in the first game. Almost, except for Boulder. Boulder still. The Boulder tutorial fight in the first game still blows anything out of the water in the second one for me personally. Yes, you fight Thor in this one, in the tutorial fight pretty much. But Thor didn't feel as impactful to me. He was cool. I liked their version of Thor a whole lot. But it felt kind of like the rest of the gods that you fight in those games. It didn't feel that different from his sons. That fight against the twins or whatever, the sons of Thor. Like Thor was a big deal, but he wasn't a big enough deal. Baldur felt like a big fucking deal the minute he was on the scene. Mostly because I didn't know anything about fucking Baldur before these games, so it caught me off guard how much of a big fucking deal he was. But also because they didn't really present him in the same way. Like Thor is the big bad. Thor is like, even though the Norse mythology has its own god of war, they're lining up Thor to be like the rival god of war from Norse mythology. He's the big name that you want to see go up against Kratos. But once he does, it's fine. It wasn't even as much of a spectacle as I wanted it to be honest, to be blatant. Anyway, point is, even besides all that, God of War is a sequel to doing something well that has already been done. Elden Ring did a lot of good shit for the first, or it did a lot of things that have already been done, but it repackaged them and redesigned it to be enhanced by the new format. There's no games before Elden Ring in the same series. There's no Souls games or Bloodborne or even Sekiro that would not benefit from being reconfigured in the same way that Elden Ring reconfigured the Souls games. I want to see this format done for the Bloodborne universe, or that mythology or that look or that theme. I would love to see that in that gameplay with the guns and what did there. Sekiro should just do Elden Ring's open world. Sekiro was already kind of there, but it did like the usual, like, you get this whole area to run around in, similar to God of War, but then you go through like a door before you get to the next one. Elden Ring doesn't have that. Point is, I would love to see everything. Elden Ring is the next step for those games, and it deserves to be rewarded for that. So obviously, I haven't. This isn't news, I would think. I'm voting for Elden Ring for Game of the Year. As somebody who hasn't finished any of the other Souls games except for Sekiro, which is barely even a Souls game, which is why I like it so much. And Demon Souls, which I have my reasons for why I like Demon Souls enough to finish it over the rest of the Souls games. And Bloodborne. But anyway, that's the big vote. That's what this is going to come down to this year, is obviously Elden Ring versus God of War. I still think it's pretty much all Elden Ring's game to win, or to lose. I guess is the way you would say that. I think everybody thinks the same way I do as far as Elden Ring goes. And it's made a much bigger splash. Everybody loves God of War for the most part. But again, a lot of people in the industry are kind of tepid on God of War. As opposed to Elden Ring, where like pretty much everyone acknowledged, even if they didn't finish Elden Ring or they lost interest part of the way through Elden Ring was a big deal in what it did. There are people who are like, man, I'm playing God of War right now. And then like a week later, Sonic Frontiers came out. And Sonic Frontiers is a bad game. But also people are way more interested in Sonic Frontiers, because it's doing something new with Sonic. And I've heard that so many times. Yeah, I know this is a bad game, but it's just so interesting, I'm going to keep playing it. And I specifically listened to a podcast where all the three of the hosts were like, I'm liking God of War, but man, I'm kind of putting Sonic on more often at this point, even though I'm like halfway through God of War. I'm kind of wanting to play more Sonic right now because industry folk have played this kind of game over and over again. It's doing it well. It's doing it better than anything else this year. And in this space, Elden Ring is more new, innovative, blah, blah. And that's the reason why Elden Ring is getting Game of the Year, probably in general. But we'll see. I could be wrong. And we're done, I think. I don't think I have to hit save or anything. I could share it. Achieved. You voted in all categories. Become a TGA insider. Shared my badge. Become a co-streamer. I might co-stream. How do I do that? I'll co-stream the fucking Game Awards. Or am I? No, I'm not gonna co-stream this Game Awards. I need to watch it on Steam in order to be able to maybe win a Steam deck. So I think you can only be a co-streamer if you stream through Twitch, and I want to watch it on Steam, so I have a chance to win a Steam deck. Anyway, that's it for the votes. Thanks for. That took an hour and a half. That took an hour and 40 minutes. I did not expect it to take that long. I kind of was thinking like at maximum an hour, but I wanted to talk this out. That's the whole point. It's a good time. 7:30. It's still hella early. But I might have to take like a 5-minute break to drink a soda because my throat is itchy from talking too much. I don't know how people do it, man. For those in the chat, give me feedback. What should I do? I want to play at least one more game, I think. And I played. Last time I was on stream, I played a game called Teardown and a game called Card Shark. I think I'm going to just do Teardown. I'm going to do one level of Teardown. I think that's fun to watch if you haven't seen it before. Maybe some Card Shark after that if I feel like it after one level of Teardown. I think that's what we're ending up on. So, yes. I want to play more Teardown. Give me a second. I'm gonna put the prep screen back up while am I? Or am I just gonna do this? I think I'm just gonna do this. I don't care what you guys see. Close that. Get rid of display capture. Boom. And then now we need to put game capture back on. And I'm just gonna grab a soda, and we're just gonna go straight into Teardown for a level, which the last level I did took like 20 minutes. So that's about how long the stream might keep going. We might end this stream at a solid 2 hours, but we'll see. Unless I get some reason to keep going, or if I get more viewers, then I'll probably extend it out to play some Card Shark too, because people should see that. But for right now, I'm at least committing to one level of Teardown. My joysticks or my controller's on. Let me start the game, and then I'm gonna go grab I need to stop the music now. We don't need it for when I'm playing video games. And then let me start the game. Open the game mode. And then I had to turn my HDR off, but I might turn it back on. Maybe. Okay, game started. Come on, Alt-Tab. Alt-Tab. Let me fucking Alt-Tab. There you go. I was about to kill everyone. Oh, now we're back to this not looking right. Why is everything broken? There we go. Kind of. Why is this broken? Let me see if I can fix this. Render scale 100%. Display. It's always the fucking. Oh, there we go. Why does the resolution go down? I think I turned down the resolution because wasn't it running a little bit hinky? We'll find out together. But now my live shit is like broken. Okay, there we go. I can't see how the game goes. Okay, that looks better. That's what we should see. And now let me know if now I need to worry about audio. Should I switch it? You know what? I'm not gonna switch it from there. I'm gonna switch it from in-game audio, music volume. Let's turn that down. That better? Let me grab a soda. Look at that. Why not get a soda and switch games? I get 3 new viewers or something. At least I never trust a viewer. You guys can't hear me. All right. Let me switch the game category real quick to Teardown. Because I'm big time streamer boy. And I keep up with my fucking Twitch tags. Done. Okay. Stop it. Get me back to the chat. All right. So if you're in the chat and you haven't seen this game before, oh yeah. Nope. Wait. Nope. 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 1 sec. That's the reason why I downed the resolution is because yeah, this is the frame rate dies if I'm at full resolution, and I don't need it to be, honestly. That's what I thought, but I couldn't remember for sure. Okay, we're gonna knock that down. This isn't a game that needs like full on resolution. It's fine. Although it may also help if I did borderless window. Borderless window mode using the same resolution and refresh rate as your desktop. On some systems, this can yield better performance. Let's see what happens there. Let's see if the borderless window works better. Did the music go back up? I guess not. It still sounds pretty loud. Hold on. I'm turning it down further, even. Although in-game, I think it's just the menu music that's kind of loud, but I think it's fine otherwise. It's weird that I have to control my mouse with the controller stick. This feels better. It does feel better, but the frame rate is still not there. All right. Yeah, we're going to stick to the smaller resolution. I'm fine with that. You can barely tell because of the, this game looks good, but you can't really tell. So we're going to go full screen, 1 notch down from 4K. I'd rather have the frame rate. Much better. That immediately feels a lot better. Like the mouse is moving better, even. If you can tell a difference, then you let me know. Oh, yeah, look at that. Oh, that's so much better. Okay, let me make sure, because I think that means that it shrank. Yeah, let me make it bigger. Oh my god. OBS is not, in this game, did not mix. Stretch. I fixed it. I did it. All right. So in this game just has a very super detailed, because these are all voxels, these are pixels that are 3D, it has a very detailed breaking shit apart kind of thing. It's kind of, imagine Minecraft, but down to like inches blocks instead of, 1 by 1 foot blocks or whatever, or 3 by 3 foot blocks. Anyway, this makes for very interesting demolition situations, blah, blah, blah. You'll see, you'll get the point. We got 2 missions available to do now. GPS or, not really demolition, but. Let's see what our options are. This is our policeman on the inside who asks us to do some shit sometimes. I've been up all night digging through the login devices and managed to find a connection to the West Point Marina. I haven't been able to figure out more on BT, but Lee has a warehouse in West Point. I guess whatever fishy business he is up to, the marina is not the final destination. I was thinking the best GPS devices can give me an idea where he is moving the product, especially if I can compare their recent destinations to the shipping log. Can you get them for me? Okay, so she wants me to go in and get some GPSs. I already read this guy's last time. He wants me to go in and bust up a bunch of cars, I believe. Because I stole, little does he know, I stole the cars from him for Gordon, and now he's hitting me up to fucking to destroy the cars. That sounds more fun for a stream. So let's do this mission, I think. Ooh, this has 6. Ugh. This has 6, whatchamacallits, objectives. The home of mall manager and racing enthusiast Gordon Wu, his daughter Freya and fiance Enid Kumans. An exclusive mansion with a private racetrack in the backyard. That's fun. Dump at least 3 of Gordon's expensive cars in water. Let's do it. I have a new weapon. I have a shotgun used for demolition. Alright. So this game is all about planning and then execution. Making a plan and then executing on that plan. Right, I gotta remember, okay, that's how I open doors. What's this? That's nothing? Fuck you. Alright. What's all my stuff? I have a blowtorch, I have a shotgun now, and then I have a spray can for marking my path if I need it, and I have a fire extinguisher in case I fucking fuck shit up. Alright, let's get an overview of what we're looking at. So, my escape vehicle, I have to, yeah, this is the weird thing, you have to pull and grab the map around. I have to make it back to my escape vehicle here. I'm currently here. We have to worry about fire alarms and wired alarm boxes. Fire alarms and wired alarm boxes as far as security. Let's see. Available targets. We have the main garage. We have the gallery pool. Gotcha. Workshop garage. Winter garden. That one's marked, definitely hooked up to a... These are probably all hooked up to security boxes, alarm boxes, but we'll find out together. Oh, that one's kind of far away. And then pit stop. Okay, and that one... Okay, well, this one can be dumped. I can drive this entire thing into the water without having to worry about the alarm box, I believe. So... Oh, and I have to get at least 3 of them, but we're going to try to get all 6. We have to find... Our first mission will be to find out if any of these are not on fucking security shits. Any of them that are not on security, I can definitely get rid of. And I'm hoping that 3 of them are not, and then 3 of them are. And I only have to figure out a way of getting the 3 that are done. Let's look around this place. This place is huge. But we gotta be careful not to trigger any alarms just exploring around. Alright, the music started going and then I thought that was the fucking alarm going off. Alright, so let's see. That one's hooked up to security. That fucking sucks because if I snap that wire on any of the cars, I then have 60 seconds to finish the rest of the level. That car is definitely hooked up. I can't break metal with my sledgehammer, but I can use my blowtorch on it. But I'll go around. Or can I go through the floor? Okay, no, this is concrete, so I can't go through floors either. Okay, that's gonna make this entire thing a lot tougher. Damn it. I have regenerating health, so as long as I don't die in one hit, then it's pretty much okay. This is unfair, man. Also, okay, so this pool is empty. It'd be cool if I could fill up the pool and then that counted as an objective done if I just drove a car into the pool. Is that a thing I can do? Does this thing spit out water? It does not. If I find a way to fill this pool with water, I bet that I can get the objective for getting this car done by just driving it right here and being done. But it doesn't seem like that's a thing I can do. But then I could also do that for that car, and that would make doing this in 60 seconds for all the cars seem way more doable. Why is this car even here? Oh, because it was being loaded up with stuff from here. But I was like, but also, why do you have a security... Ooh, I almost broke that. Why do you have a security thing wire there? That's unrealistic. This game's unrealistic. That's the one that I can get that one for free. Unless, when I put it in the water though, the car may physics, like it may fall off the back of that bit of that truck and then snap the wire, and then I think that would still set off alarms. So that's 1, 2, 3, 4 cars that I have eyes on so far out of 6. I don't think there's any over here. No, there isn't. There's one more over here, and then one... Where's the last one? Over here, I believe? In this corner? Nope. Where's the last one at? Oh, is it in here? I didn't get visuals. It was behind this one, so I didn't get eyes on it. Okay, let's go find this one that's all the way here. Boom, baby! Okay. I wonder if I found a way to break this chunk of wall off without actually breaking the box itself, if I could then bring the wire along with the car, I would just have to find a way to keep to not let this get snagged on anything. I think that's what we have to test. That's the only way I could see myself doing all 6 of these cars in a single go. So first, unlike last time, before I start testing shit, I'm going to quick save. I want to see if I can blowtorch maybe around this. Okay, I can't blowtorch this. I have to sludge it. Oh, okay. This isn't wood, so I can't break it all the way through, but I was gonna kind of like let this come off of the wall as like a piece of the wall, but I don't think I can get away with that. Like I was gonna try to do like this kind of thing to it, and then let it fall off the wall, but since this is fucking concrete, that's not an option. What happens if I go hit the other side of the wall? Nothing. Okay. That did nothing. This is annoying now. I don't know if I can do all these cars in 60 seconds. No matter what I do. Hey, valuable. Maybe I can do it with better tools. If I come back to this level with better tools, maybe I'd be able to do it then. Then again, you know what? I gotta think outside the box. Because there's a pool back here. This would have to be the last one, I think. I haven't gotten eyes on this one yet, but I imagine that one's also going to be secured up. This one is the furthest away from a source of water. Maybe I can get this... No, this is all going to be concrete. I can't do anything with this. It really bothers me that this pool doesn't have water in it. I feel like that's the answer for this entire level, is finding a way to get water into this empty pool and then dumping the cars that way. That's gotta be a thing. Let's take some more looks around. Fuck you, microwave. We got some generators. We have some exploding propane tanks. We have this digger. I wonder how much... Ooh, that's an idea. Will this digger work in concrete? I bet it won't. Okay, hold on. I can only make this... I can't make this go down into the ground. I can make it go into this, but it doesn't even feel like it's digging. Okay, this thing's not gonna dig. This thing will let me do some other stuff, but it's not gonna let me dig with that, which is, I was hoping I could dig into like the concrete maybe with it. It was powerful enough. But no, it doesn't even dig into dirt. Because then if I could dig into concrete, I could dig a path across here into the pool and then blah, blah, but I don't think that's the way this works. This water's not even that deep. Oh yeah, I'm not used to opening glass doors in this game. Is this a sauna? Wow, a sauna. I've never been in a sauna. I want to do it eventually. My gym has one. I should just go do that. I stole a vacuum cleaner worth $60. But I don't even go to the gym anymore. I need to just do that too. I thought this was a TV in the bathroom. I was like, this guy is rich. Ooh, an elevator. Fancy. A fridge that's way too big. Some of the graphics in this game look like stuff that I would put together if I had to do graphics for a game. I was looking around for clues for anything else I could do. Picked up a bronze statue. Stole the fuck out of that statue. What's going on over here? Woohoo. Sorry. This is the woohoo room. Seems to just be like the entertainment game room. These guys own a little personal theater. Oh, this is like a full-on, like, there's a whole, it's multiple bathrooms for people to be up here. Got it. This is a whole lot to put together for a bunch of stuff that's unrelated to the cars. I love breaking all these now. What the fuck is going on here? Oh, these are all clothes. I thought this was like mess. I thought this was like, hey, what's this valuable? A rare, genuine, vintage band t-shirt. Maybe either this is all of his clothes and he just lives a messy life, or he's a bachelor and he has like a bunch of girls over all the time, so that might be implying. Or dudes. I'm not judging. Oh, it looks comfortable. I didn't even know that X button let me like talk about stuff like that. Can I turn on this TV? I can't. I broke the fuck out of that TV. Anyway, oh look, a shoe closet and a mirror. But the mirror doesn't work. Yeah, the mirror can't work. Expensive vintage sneakers. Alright. I don't think we're going to get any clues to help us out. Maybe this isn't that kind of game, but maybe in some ways it is. What is this doing here? Penthouse Gardening by Lisa Green worth $20. So that sounds like a book. What the fuck is going on here? Oh, oh, there we go. Okay, this is just another one. Just another bedroom. Did I see a shiny? I did. You should get a bed that doesn't fall apart when you hit it with a sledgehammer. Alright, on to brass tacks. We're going to focus on... Oop, I didn't mean to fall that far. We're going to focus on getting 3 of these cars done, since that's the requirement. Let's go take a look at the last car that I haven't looked at yet. We're going to focus on doing the 3. I normally like to do all the objectives, but I really feel like I don't have the tools to do it. But I could be wrong. I could just be bad at this video game. Okay, I got to go in from this side. Does this door open or not? Okay. I thought it might have been locked. Is this the last car? There's supposed to be a car in this building. Is this the last one? It is. But it's got no wheels. Interesting. Can I put the wheels on? Is that what I'm supposed to do? Doesn't seem like it. I think I have to find a way to get this car out of here without wheels. Oh. What did it say? Okay, it said target. But I can't pick these. I can't. This isn't what I can do. So we're gonna have to get a. Okay. I have other ways of getting this, but this one's not secured up, so I can get rid of this one for free. Let's go grab. I don't know if there's another one of those trucks that get the flatbed trucks. That's what we need. I mean, there's the dump truck. Let's go check over there. Maybe there's another of these flatbeds in the other garage. We may be able to get at least 4 of these cars. Oh, that was close. No, there's no, uh-oh, it's stuck. It's stuck. I'm destroying the floor. There's no flat bed in here. Second prize in Woo Open. Worth 19, blah, blah, blah. Okay. I like that the car is shorter than I am. But I sat in it. Well, I guess that makes sense. See, I need one of these flatbeds like this, but that one, like, if I take that car off, then the alarm will go off. Let's go check over here. I saw this building and I hoped there would be another flatbed over here, but it didn't look like it. This is a fridge? Okay, I thought it was a vault. Box wine. I want that. I want that. Engraved lighter. I'm making a lot of money off this job without even finishing it. There's gotta be more secrets. Can I open these cabinets? I cannot. Yes, I can! A gilded toilet brush. I knew there was gonna be a secret in here. I'm the best at video games. Another sauna. Another money. Precision thermometer worth $30. Alright, we're done over here. This is just a money mine. Nothing useful. I really don't have... I guess we're going to have to use the dump truck. This is better. Alright, these bushes are winning. These bushes are winning the fucking war against my fucking Jeep. Like, maybe that car is big enough to fit on the back of the dump truck. Come on. Oh, no. Come on. Oh, fuck me. These stairs are hollow? Oh, and I can't break these with my sledgehammer, but I can with a car. Okay. Well, now we learned that cars are more powerful than my sledgehammer. I think that car could fit on the back of that dump truck. Yeah, that's plenty of room. Look how long it is. Boom. This is the answer. We're getting one for free, boys. Don't flip it. I didn't see there was a ramp right there. That would have been a lot easier. Oh, that's nice. Why'd that go back down? I lifted that up earlier. Probably because the hydraulics ran out of power. I don't know if this is gonna work. Oh, it lowers slowly over time. Yeah. The problem is, and also I don't know. Whatever. I'll make it work. Make it work. Oh yeah! Alright, that car is kind of in pieces. No! Come back! No! I've doomed us all! Alright, listen. Let's see what our options are. I probably should have just went out the other way, but I was already kind of committed. Well, now if I load, Then I don't get all my valuables. Alright, we'll figure it out. This is an extra car. I can wedge it. Uh-oh. What if I... Alright. That didn't help. Fuck me. I think this car's got to stay here now. Yeah, that car is not a car anymore. Okay. Well, you know. We could have got one for free. We were very close. Can I open these? Oh, there's got to be a valuable one of these. And then I'm going to go get rid of... I'm going to put together my actual plan for getting 3 of the other cars out of here. I'm so good at video games. I don't know. That's at the end of the day. I can immediately get rid of one. We just back it up into the water. But then I'd need a ride back to the other 2. So I'm gonna have to get some cars set up. So this is the plan. The first car I get rid of is probably going to be this. No. Yeah, no. No, this will be my last one. I set this up right by the ocean's edge. Right by the water's edge. Or do I set it up by the pool? Okay. No, the pool's not really all that much further in. I mean, this counts as water. So, would I be best served? I mean, I could get... I don't think I could fit all 3 of these cars into this one little pool. That's an issue. I could get 2 of them in the pool and drive 1 off into the ocean. It would be a mad dash, but I could do it. I think that's what we're gonna do. We're gonna take that car first, drive it into that pool. Take this car, drive it into that pool. Take this car, drive it into the ocean. I think that's fine. I think that's doable. We have to see what's in the way. We're gonna have to break down some walls. Oh, that's the other issue, is we can't break down these metal walls except with a car. Or a heavy equipment. I mean, I can drive through the glass, drive it into the water, and then drive... Let me make sure this pool is big enough for 2 cars. It's just big enough for 2 cars. As long as this counts as dumping it in the water. Which we'll find out with the first car. I think we've got this. Let me just break some of this shit in the way ahead of time. I don't want to run into one of these fucking beams. Actually, I feel like this isn't going to work. I think this is going to get caught up on this, and I can't get rid of that. I mean, I can try, but I don't think I can get rid of this. I can get rid of it a little. Also, I started a fire. But the amount I would need to get rid of... Also, I don't think I can get rid of the... I can't get rid of this concrete down here, so that's going to always be a problem. We need to get rid of this wall. We're just going to crash the... We're going to crash the crane into the wall to make an opening. It's a good thing I didn't break both of the power vehicles. Oh, we could use explosives. Explosives would be more, I wish I could load up. I could have loaded up the dump truck with explosives and then drove that over. No, let's just do this. We'll just drive this through the wall. That's gonna work. Trust me. I know everything about video games. I'm a genius. This thing's so fucking slow. We're probably going to destroy this thing in the process, but that's fine. All right, here we go. Oh yeah! just like that, we have ourselves a perfectly functional hole in the wall. Let's make it a little bit bigger. Oh, yeah! Now we've got to drive the car through that, which is doable. I hope. Oh, this thing doesn't have wheels. This thing doesn't have wheels. This one has wheels. I assume it can be driven. Does this not have wheels? Are those wheels? Those are wheels. Those are wheels. They're just small wheels. Okay, I really thought I had fucked this up. They're just tiny little wheels compared to the other cars. Alright, that's the plan. Let's do the plan. We're going to test it. I saved my game. I'm going to drive this car into that water over there. If that doesn't count as objective done, then we have to make a new plan. But if it does, then plan is a go. We drive that other car into the same pool. And then, you know what? I need to set... and then we run over to that car and we drive that into the... it's not that far. We're good. Let's do this. Leroy Jenkins! Uh-oh, I fucked up. This is already moving faster. Did that count? Is this in water? I don't think it counts. Let me check my objectives. Oh no, I went to quick load! That's fine, I could do that drive better. At least I didn't go to quick save. I was trying to get to the map. Oh no, I went to restart level! I went to restart mission. Quick load. Don't. No. I had a quick save. I think it's fine. Oh, thank God. But I don't think that pool counted. Dump at least 3 of Gordon's expensive cars in water. Well, what am I supposed to do? There's no way I can drive a car all the way into the ocean, walk back, grab another car, and then walk back and get another car. And I can't even drive a car into the ocean, drive a car back that I set up ahead of time, drive that car into the ocean, and then come back and get the third one all in 60 seconds. On top of driving through all this shit. I mean, there's that one. So I technically only have to do 2 of the cars up here. Maybe this is doable. We're gonna need that Jeep. Let's get this in position. Okay, because check it out. This runway goes straight off. So I can drive that car all the way down the ramp, get out, jump into this Jeep, go get the other red car, drive it off, and then drive that car into the ocean. Easy. But we're going to actually set this up first. I should probably set this up to be backed off into the ocean. But we gotta be careful. Okay, so I'm gonna hop into this and be able to back it off right there and then be done. This is all gonna be pretty close. This is the alternative. I think I can do this in 60 seconds. I don't see a better way of doing it. The cars drive pretty fast, so this is going to be doable. I just have to be on point with my driving. We technically just have to grab 2 cars. We have to grab and dump 2 cars, and then the third one we already have done, kind of. This mess on the floor is going to kind of fuck me over, but that's fine. We'll make it work. All right, saving again. Quick save. Don't fuck it up. Let's go! There we go. We did that better. Look at that. Look at how fast this baby goes. All right. Almost perfect. Bye-bye. Now we take this car back and you get the other. Man, this is easy. I'm a fucking genius. Actually, we're cutting it kind of close. Oh, I love this Jeep. This Jeep is good shit. Get the fuck out of here. I could have ended up closer to this car, but that's fine. Let's go. Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. All right, we're going to take it a little bit slower here so we don't crash. Oh, no! Okay, we're fine. We did it. We did it in one try. Did it in one try. Oh, my God, get in there. Oh, my God, get in. Oh, fuck. Oh, fuck. Oh, fuck. Oh, fuck. Oh, fuck. Did that not count? Oh, that counted. We did it. Oh, wait, we have to escape. Fuck. Shit, I forgot. We have to also escape. Actually, you know, that last one, that last car counted as dumped, and I didn't have to set off the alarm. So, new plan, similar plan, is just that we dump that car first, do the plan the same way, but we drive that car into the water over here. That way I can then... Oh, wait, there's more. There's more shit over here. There's more vehicles that I could use to do some shit. That's fine. Either way, we drive it off the edge here, and then I get to the escape van. So what we need is a hole in the fence. Or, yeah, we need to make a hole in the fence before we do this. I could use this again since it's already broken up anyway. Is this going to let me through? It is. Cool. This thing is breaking apart, but we'll make it work. That super fast car is probably not as good on grass, but we'll make it, we'll figure it out. So, we're going to drive through here, so let's try to make a path as easy as possible. Come on. Come on, big boy. You got it. Yeah, there we go. It's not the cleanest, but it'll do. I wonder if I should set up the Jeep over here instead. I just want all the room in the world. Okay, we're done. That's good. Or I can just set up any car over here. I just prefer the Jeep feels the best. Oh, look, a crane. I can drive that too. There's a van. The van will do. Oh, the van will no longer do. I didn't mean to blow that up. I'm wasting all my resources. Is that a shorter path to a water than the longer one I was doing? I think it is. I should drive both the cars into that water. So now I have to go get the Jeep, because I blew up the other alternative back and forth car. And we're going to dump this other car into the ocean on the flatbed and hope that the security doesn't go off, but I still get the objective done like last time. As long as it doesn't leave the flatbed, then it shouldn't go off. But we should get the objective done. So we're going to quick save. This was fun to figure out. Kind of. We're going to dump this. Alright, hang out, hang out, hang out. Does that count? That does not count. We got to get it more into the water. That counts. Alright, no security. So now we take the Jeep. We set it up by the water. Slow down a little bit. Oh no! Okay, we're fine. We don't want to mix this Jeep up too much further. This is very doable. Oh shit. Okay. I have to drive that thing off pretty fast to get it all the way off into the water. That's why I have to put that right there in order for that to be ready. Alright, we're set up. I think this is going to work. My last plans have all fell through, but that's you know, I had to test shit out. I mean, I could just drive this through that wall too, but or I could drive it out the. Let's see. If I drive it out the garage door and then through the hole, that's probably gonna be better. All right, let's do it. Perfect. 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 Target cleared. We're done. Easy. Oh god, this is fast. There we go. There we go. Mission complete. I probably had time to do one more. I'm so fucking good. And we're out of here. I didn't get all 6, but I could have got at least one more. If I didn't fuck up the car in the garage that's not on security, I could have got that one. And I don't know if there's any others I could have got. Or at least I don't know how I would have gotten them otherwise. Because coming back and forth one more time would have taken too long. But I did it. Maybe this is not a mission where you're meant to do all 6. Maybe you're not meant to do all the optional. I mean, there's a high score. We could probably figure it out. But either way, that was fun. We're gonna continue. This game's cool. My hands hurt. Trespasser, you reached a new rank. New tool has been delivered. What's my new tool? Do I have my new tool? Where do I pick up my new tool at? I got a lot of money. I wonder if, I guess my rank is based on my, the amount of points I have. Oh, there it is. It's in there. Let's see what my new tool is, and then I'm going to call it a stream. That took longer than I thought it was going to take, too. Plank tool. Planks can be used to build primitive ramps. Ooh, you can upgrade your tools in the computer terminal. You can also attach objects with planks to lift or drag heavy items. I knew it. Use multiple planks to build complex structures. I have 8 planks. How do I build with them? Oh, it's a click and drag. Can I? Oh, look at that. I can just materialize it out of nothing. That's amazing. That's how I would get a lot of those cars done. Or I would get some, so I could get that one car on the thing done with the crane. Let's see what things I can upgrade. Can I upgrade the planks? I can get more planks. I can get wider planks and the maximum length of it, and longer planks. I should probably spend money on these. The width would probably be helpful because they seem pretty thin. Let's upgrade the width a little bit. Boom. And let's get, oh, plus 8 planks. Yeah, let's put our money on planks. These are going to be the key to some shit later on. Anyway, but I'm only doing one mission. Get me off here. Doing one mission, that was fun. Now I know that I don't have to worry about getting all the objectives my first time through on each level. I'm probably going to get more tools that help me do better cool shit. But I'm going to call it a stream. This was a good time. I might play some other stuff off stream. I don't know yet. But if you hung out the whole time, appreciate it. If not, if you're only here for part of it, still appreciate it. This has been Teardown is the name of this game. It's real promising. I don't think I'm going to finish it in time for the end of the year, but I've already played enough to, like, appreciate it, I feel like. But I'll keep going as much as I can while I have time. I'm probably not streaming tomorrow, but maybe I am. And then Wednesday, I'm probably streaming, definitely. I feel like I don't have anything else to do on Wednesday, so I'll probably stream. And that's the day before the Game Awards. But that's also the last day that WutGamesWeek is going on, and I really do want to play something that's really obscure for you guys that I've never played on stream, and that I would think that nobody here has ever seen before. I want to do something. I want to do that at least once. So I'll try to do that on Wednesday. But it really comes down to what my schedule ends up like. Anyway, I'm gonna save just in case. Thanks for watching. This has been a fun stream. I'm happy I did a good chunk of time. So be on the lookout. Maybe tomorrow, probably Wednesday. And with that, thanks for watching. See you guys next time.